It's Thought Leader Lounge time. Happy Monday. So thrilled to see you. Look at these bright, shining faces. Hi, Margaret and Claire. Jen's here. Corinne's here. Charla. Hi, Carol. Great to see you, Lisa, Michelle, and Amy. Marcia. Yay. So good to see you, Marcia. Theory's here. Hi, Susan and Lauren. Tanya. Pantia, Lisa. Oh, I think I'm saying Pantia, so it should be Pantea. I'm saying your name incorrectly. I'll get it. Marcia, Jade. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Tanya. So it is Monday. We are here for the Thought Leader Lounge. And you all that have been coming to this show for a while know that our whole intention and our point of meeting together on Mondays is to set an intention, to raise our vibration, to come together in an energy to make this week extraordinary. Right? There's so many messages on Mondays. Oh God, Monday. Monday is one of my favorite days of the week. I love Mondays. I love it. This possibility, the blank canvas, the everything's open to us to create something new and special and powerful and in contribution. So who's up for it? I know I ask every week when we're together, but who's up for creating an extraordinary week? Just put E for extraordinary in the chat if you're like, this week gets to be extraordinary, no matter what the morning has felt like, depending on where you are in the world. It's early or it's already late in the day. Either way, we're here together for a reason. We're here together on purpose. We're here together to change lives. We're here to build our legacy. We're here to make a difference. And we're here to generate abundance. Right? So how exciting is that? Bless you, Karen. How exciting is it that whether people are grumbling, the old kind of water cooler energy, and we're here saying this week gets to be epic, it gets to be extraordinary, it gets to be fun, it gets to be prosperous, and it gets to be really divinely inspired and creative. So yes, awesome. I love it. So I'm thrilled that you're here. Those of you watching on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all the channels, we're thrilled that you're with us as well. And we're gonna have some fun today. So let's rub our hands together and just take some breaths and just have an invitation to let go of any judgments, any thoughts that are pulling at you, if there's been any temptation to sort of speak about something in a negative or limiting way, whether it's yourself or a situation, what would it be like to let that go? What would it be like to open yourself to a new possibility? Right? That's what we get to do with every breath, every new week, every day. So just thrilled that we're together and we're going to do this work together. So we are moving in Thought Leader Academy. So many of you are in Thought Leader Academy. Some of you are just starting and joining and in coaching with us. And those of you that are here experiencing and participating in the show, we're moving into a season, a new quarter of the year, and in Thought Leader Land, it's going to be devoted to financial abundance and life abundance in all its forms. So put A in the chat if you're excited about going into 3 months plus. It's always underneath the beautiful abundant current and flow that we're in, but we're going to be consciously looking at that piece of the Thought Leader pathway. Those of you in Thought Leader Academy know our pathway, right? We've got the 5 key core strategies, and one of them is monetizing our mission, creating financial abundance through our work, through our mission, and through our thought leadership. So we're going into a season on this, and I want to talk about something today. I'll have a new podcast episode out on this on Thursday. But you guys get it first. You get to be part of this conversation first, because I want it actually to be a dialogue. I want to do a dialogue together. And then we're going to do an intention setting exercise to set a new trajectory for the week and the quarter, right? So who does quarters of the year? Who thinks of their year? Maybe you were in corporate like I was at one point, or I love quarters. I like that there's really 4 years within a year. I really love that whether, think of them as seasons, we can think of them as, blocks of time. But if anyone's read the book, The 12-Week Year, it's about really how we have these 4 opportunities, these years within the year. And just like New Year's, or just like, a season change in nature, the new quarter gives us an opportunity to do things differently, right? It's like what has it been up until now, and what do I want to create that's new? So even though these are constructs, right? These are things we make up, time and all of that, they can be useful. So let's use them for empowerment for ourselves and the people in our lives. So I want to do an inquiry here to kick us off and to ask about something I have just after coaching on this for the last few years and experiencing it in my life. I'm really aware that there's a phenomenon that I call business PTSD. Okay, so you could call it creative PTSD, work PTSD, business, entrepreneur PTSD. And I want to talk about it because it comes up a lot in Thought Leader Academy. It comes up a lot when I'm speaking at conferences and things. And you'll get the podcast episode with more on this on Thursday. But I want to talk about it and just find out from all of you that are here today, those of you on social, just post in the comments, what if this is something you've experienced. Okay, so I want to talk about 3 catalysts or triggers for business PTSD, and I want to talk about the symptoms of business PTSD and find out if you have experienced anything like this. And I want to find out if there's ones that aren't on this list that we should add to the list because of your experiences. Okay, so this can be like lowercase letters, or it can be uppercase. Little t trauma, capital T trauma are different, but they're all along the same range. So one of the things, and this is me looking at my own life and coaching Thought Leader Academy for these last years, one of the business PTSD triggers is like you took a risk and you put something out there and it didn't happen. It didn't convert. It didn't sell. It didn't open the door. It didn't do the things that you were hoping that thing. So this could be you launched a program, you started a business, you published a book, you rented out a space to host an event, you hosted something online, and either just not a lot of people came or people, didn't invest with you or whatever. So put me in the chat if you've experienced something like that and know that it affected you, right? It wasn't just like, oh, no bigs. Like, I mean, how would it not affect us when you've poured your heart and soul into something, you were vulnerable enough to put yourself out there, and if it didn't have the response that you were looking for it to have, that can really mess with us, right? You're going to get over it. We're going to create, a breakthrough around this. But before we start doing our abundance acceleration activities, I think this is something that must be addressed, because otherwise we are battling up against resistance from this business PTSD. Yeah, that does count. And absolutely invested in networking groups and didn't receive anything. A second catalyst for it that I've experienced and seen in our clients is when we have sort of micro disappointments. So the first one is like, something sort of, we put something big out and it didn't turn out the way we wanted. That's one. But there's also a sustained experience that sometimes happens for visionaries and artists and entrepreneurs, where it's like this just goes on for a period of time where what you're putting out doesn't seem to match either the revenue coming back or the impact you're making in the world, the visibility you want to see. And there's just like this sort of little, hits that are going on. So anyone put 2 in the chat if that one is something that you're aware that you've experienced a version of. Like it's sort of, yeah, there's sort of a sustained, like getting hit with the waves. Maybe they aren't like these dramatic big things, but there's, yeah. And if you're like me, then you're going to have experienced all of these, right? It's like, there's not just one, right? The third one I wanted to look at is, yeah, right. Someone stole one of your ideas, Lisa PR. You had that happen. We had that happen to someone in Oracle recently. Someone in, another group she was in, really just literally took her intellectual property, right? It's just, it's a really big deal to have to walk through that. So now we want to look at number 3 of 3. And that is what I just call, and it's 11:11. Chicago time. So the third one that I identify a lot is just a straight up financial trauma. Okay, now that can go with number one, where you have put something out and it didn't pan out, but it can also be you hired someone and they were really ineffective and there was a huge financial cost to that experience, or someone outright took money from you, right? Like you invest, I know colleagues have had this happen. I've had this happen when someone just literally like stole, right? Straight up. You might have experienced something where the economy or the industry you're in changes in such a way that suddenly what was working doesn't work. And then you're just like, wait, what just happened? And you're sort of, it's taking you a minute to realize that and respond and figure out something else. It could be that like whatever, there's a huge unexpected tax thing or something happens where there's truly a sense of, can I move forward? Can I keep going? Am I going to be okay? And hits us at, yeah, Charlotte. I mean, so what I want us to, I was watching a show called Dance Life. Okay, have anyone seen that show? It's an Australian, it's a documentary style show about young dancers in Australia that want to become professional, like they want this to be their full-time thing, and it follows them over the course of their kind of year where they're finishing training and going to be out in the world, becoming professional dancers. And one of the things that comes up, is that they talk about, injury is part of the deal. Like when you're a dancer, or my sister was a professional or, elite gymnast. If you're a football player, it's like, it's not some like, oh my God, someone got injured. It's like, they're calling people off the field all the time, at those games and stuff. And so I don't think we think about the comparison as much where, are we just, not that we are expecting anything negative to happen, but can we create enough space, enough belief in our vision, enough faith, enough bandwidth and expansion to be able to have these certain things happen and not take us out? Just not take us out. And that's really what, in addition to generating more financial abundance over these next couple months, it is resilience, Marsha. That's exactly right. It's, how we get to cultivate resilience and faith and capacity and expansion. My coach Kelly Roach talks about capacity, right? And so it's really, watching this dance show, I was so inspired. Like, these people are like, okay, here's how I'm going to manage the injury, rehab the injury, come back from the injury. And it was like, all right. And the business PTSD, some of the symptoms are, fantasizing about quitting, just saying, it'd be easier to go, you fill in your blank, work at Starbucks, work at Nordstrom, work at, whatever. And then if you're like me, you have the terror of realizing you're probably not hireable by any of those places, right? Like then you might run into, oh, well, I don't know if that's actually right. So there's that. Another symptom, and again, I'll share more of these in the podcast, but another one, and listen to these for yourself to see if any of these resonate for you, is you are flinchy, like really flinchy, like about making any investments, about putting yourself out there with whether it's a next video or a product or a book or a pitch. There's this kind of bunker, like I'm going to just, and when I lived in London, they called it the duvet dive. You just pull that duvet over, go back to bed, just be like, I'm out, like I'm going to go back in the cave. And is that something that's up for you? We're doing this work today to clear out. And I have a new workbook that's going to go with this whole series on abundance, and it's going to be for everybody. Okay. You're all going to get the work where the team's just finishing. It's all written. They're just kind of making it pretty. And so I will have that for you guys, hopefully, but I'm sure by the next time we meet, that's going to help do the deeper work around this so that we can acknowledge, accept, and move into new action around any business PTSD that's coming up, right? What are some other symptoms? So there's avoiding taking actions or procrastinating around things that would probably advance us forward because of the fear of rejection or the fear of it being another failure, perceived failure, right? It can be fantasizing about just not doing it. And then a really insidious one is like the comparison. the compare and despair, where you look at other people and like, they're doing great, they're killing it, they're doing this, they've got it all figured out, they have millions of dollars, they have millions of followers, their resentment, Corinne, right? Negative self-talk, Abraham, exactly. We start turning in on ourselves and beating ourselves up. We should have done it differently. We should have been better. Like, is this resonating with you guys? Just let me know, like, how, because this is deep, important work that is so, like, it just kept coming up so much in the coaching, and I was looking at it in myself. And yeah, so these are just a few of the symptoms that might let us know that we're having some business PTSD. And the great news is that just like any kind of PTSD, I've been diagnosed with clinical PTSD multiple times. And the great news is everything is healable. Absolutely everything is healable, and not just healable, but transformable. Truly transformable. So I want us to just take a minute, and I'm going to close my eyes because that's how I can really like listen inside myself, like the deepest part of me. And you can do team open. Yeah. And Audrey, I hear in the chat that some people are trying to find us on Instagram and aren't able to. So Jill, if you could look into that when we finish, we'll find out what's going on with our streaming. Thank you, Audrey, for letting us know. We'll post it afterwards on the social channels if we can't get it.
They can see the group, they just can't see you.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, I'm just
gonna sorry.
Right, well, thank you, Audrey. Thank you for helping us figure that out. Well, at least they can hear it. So, okay. So everything is healable, everything is transferable. Yes, 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 Lisa. All right. Now, what we want to do is go within and find out what is like the biggest hurdle or challenge you're feeling right now about financial abundance. Let's just pull it up so that it can be healed and transformed over these next 6 weeks and beyond. Yeah. Just feel into that for a minute. If you're on Zoom and want to put it in the chat, if you're on social and you want to put it in the comments to be witnessed, you can share it or keep it private. Everybody feel in now. What feels like the biggest challenge? Yeah, Jen's saying the slow cycle to really having that bigger financial abundance. So the pace, the timing. Thank you, Jen. It's great to know. So just keep feeling into that. Smoothing out our processes so we can have consistent revenue without burnout. That's a huge one. Yes, yes, Pantea. Tanya, I need to stay focused on who I can serve. The money will come rather than focusing on the money. Right. I'm a huge, huge fan of money being the result instead of the goal. I do set financial goals and I think they're useful, but they're really results of service, impact, generosity, contribution, value, right? I love that, Tanya. Thank you. So keep feeling into it and put your biggest challenge in the comments or the chat. Corinne, kind of having the direction you need and the timing of it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Jen, you're going to trust your intuition. Roadblocks set up by family members, Lisa PR. Interesting. Okay. Motherhood and schedules. Charla, huge challenge. Yep. And your husband's gone a lot for work, so you're balancing all of this. Yeah, trusting the goodness will keep coming. Yeah, Audrey, you're having like a gangbusters year so far. And then the gremlin wants to come and say, yeah, but what about quarter two? Oh, what about, I mean, it's like, it will not leave us alone, right? Yes, that it's limited, even though I know and proclaim it's unlimited, Lisa. There's sometimes fear whispers, right? Absolutely. And then you hear things, or there's a conversation going on in, the world or with people, and then it can bring up that fear. Yeah, these are really good, you guys. Inaccessible echo response, Abraham. Yeah, it's like screaming into the void. I don't know if that's what you meant there, but I hear that from people feeling like that's what it's like to reach out. Andrea, believing what you do is worth money. Yeah, actually believing our worth. And this is going to be a journey of up-leveling our self-worth, our belief in our own worth. What we're going to do over these next couple of months is going to be about this. Connecting with your audience, women who lead families to raise confident decision makers, Amy Day. Yeah. Okay. Really, really good. Because of course, right, when you think about creating more financial abundance or any goal, any vision, there's a piece of it that's can we see it, right? We got to visualize it. We'll be doing that work. And we're going to do a live 3-day masterclass at the end of April, by the way. It's for all of you, called Abundance Rising. And we will have the details. We'll have the link ready by next time. It's free, so that everyone can participate and really, like do some more of this work in real time, more than we can do on the show. So you're doing all the prep for this, which is amazing. Family dynamics with adult kids, worrying about a senior mom, Claire. Yeah, that sandwich generation. Believing your self-care will contribute to those around you and not selfish. Oh, yes, Pantea, exactly. So, right, we just to kind of review, we're visualizing what we want. We're going to go into that work in a minute. We're going to feel the feelings. What is it like to have that? Because we know the thought sends the signal out, as Joe Dispenza says, the feeling pulls it into form. But here's the tricky part. It's not going to be tricky anymore because we're going to do this work together. It's believing that we are worthy, that we can, that the universe supports us, that life wants this for us, that when we win, others win, that it's a win-win-win, not selfish or not, ego or whatever it is, to have, be, and do what we're here to have, be, and do. And our results, even when we visualize and feel the feelings, will be slowed or impeded. I'm calling it abundance inhibitors. That's new research I'm doing, abundance inhibitors. And an abundance inhibitor is that you can see it and feel it, but deep down subconsciously, you don't think you're allowed or worthy or capable. And so, yeah, Corinne, you're doing it for free. And so who's going to go deep in this season with us? Who's going to go put deep in the chat if we're willing to do even the level underneath, where yes, we're going to visualize, yes, we're going to feel, but starting to heal and transform those deeper rooted subconscious. Yeah, this is a community that goes deep. You guys are all deep people. And then we are aligned. Then we are available to receive it, to let it happen more easily. I'm not one of these people that thinks, oh, we don't ever have to do any action or effort. I don't know. It's like, again, I'm up for it. I'm here to serve. I'm excited to show up. I don't want to, sit around. People are like, I want to have a work week where I never go to my business. And I was like, I love being here. I want to be with you all. I want to be doing this. I want to write the books. And we want to know that, we're backed and we're prospering in that work that we do. And if your vision is to have a business that runs itself and you don't, that's cool too. Invent that and make that. All right, look at all this. Look at even just in the Zoom, remember, deep, 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 deep. All right, do we agree that it's needed? Do we agree that it's needed for us to do that third important piece? Because otherwise it's either unsustainable. Like Audrey said, oh, I get this fear that it was like a one-off, but Audrey, you're doing it, right? So it is going to just continue and it's amazing, but it's so important to go deep. All right. So we're going to get this in motion today, because I know it's not fun to come on and be like, thanks, what a buzzkill in the Thought Leader Lounge talking about business PTSD. And now I don't feel very good. Did anyone find that useful to just even do an overview of BPTSD and just to have some awareness of that? This is up for pretty much anyone that's been in any kind of a business or a coach or a creative of any kind. And to kind of see what are some of the triggers and what are some of the symptoms. Because, if we go to a doctor with a physical thing, we got to know what it is and what the symptoms are, so that and in this case, we're going to heal it at the root, right? We're not going to, just throw a medication or slap a Band-Aid. Yeah. Yeah. Jen's like, I want a 3-step process to get out of the memory that feels icky. Yeah. Yeah. And you're not going to feel exactly. We're not alone. We're going to do this. Look at how many of us are just here on a Monday, joining arms and saying, like, let's rise, right? That's why we're going to do Rising Abundance in our 3-part masterclass workshop at the end of April, so that we can have a little more space to do it. Okay. And those of you in Thought Leader Academy, we're continuing on and all the work of this for the next few months. All right. So here is how we're going to do this. I want everybody to just breathe. You can do a soft gaze, open eyes, or you can do closed eyes. And just imagine now that there is this giant vacuum. And it's like one of those vacuums that I don't think there is something like this, but imagine there was a giant universal vacuum that's just above you, below you, on the sides of you, at the front and back of you. And it is just going to pull out any blocked energy just lovingly in a way that feels awesome. You're just getting a huge detox of everything that is not serving you, old beliefs, those flinchy, contracted PTSD, business PTSD feelings, anytime, any messages where you're beating yourself up, any gremlins, yeah, like the Ghostbuster gun. All right. So start to feel yourself, just surrender to it and allow any of these limiting ideas based in the past to just start, just like, whoosh. And deep belly breaths. And just feel it all going. Like, let it go. Let it go. Let anything that's happened up until now be in the rearview mirror. Anything that haunts you or holds you back or stops you in your tracks, just see it being just lovingly, like, just sucked up into the universe, transformed to pure creative energy. And now just know that it's just been, you've just been cleaned out. And now feel just these floodgates of abundance. Feel this beautiful golden light above you, just pouring down and just pouring abundance into your cells, into your conscious, subconscious, outer conscious mind, into every area of your life, filling you, your self-esteem, your bank accounts, your investments, your ideas, just feeling them all be just like, just goldenized. Okay, let's do that for about 60 more seconds. Okay, just deep breaths, imagining pure abundance pouring through every area of your life and your body itself. And take a deep breath. And if you want to open your arms to physically like remind yourself and show your subconscious that you are opening your channel of abundance, you are opening it up. Breathing in, breathing out. So our work now, you're going to all have access to the new Abundance Rising roadmap. It'll be ready very shortly. I'm making it available to everyone for free. So that's going to help you continue like really looking at things that get to be healed and transformed. And for now, while we're together today, I want us to do the first part of your financial abundance manifestation. It's going to be a statement, an intention, a magnet for what you're going to create over these next weeks together. Okay. So, oh, wow. Lunar eclipse during the full moon, Margaret, powerful energy to be doing this. So I'm going to walk you through everything as we go through the next few weeks. But for now, I want everyone to just think about what the financial goal is that you want to work with. You can do it for the quarter. So we'll say April, May, June, because we're coming up to April, or you can do it for the month, like between now and when we get together for Abundance Rising, which is going to be, again, our free masterclass at the end of April. If you want to set a month-long goal, like a 30-day goal, you want to set a 90-day quarter goal. And I want everyone to just think about something that is empowering, but also not so much of a stretch from where you are that you'll just shut down and think it's ridiculous and just talk yourself out of even trying, right? I want something you're going to play for. All right. So we'll be doing more of this kind of work as we go through, upcoming trainings. But for today, and Jen, you can do it however you want. Jen's asking, should I set a number goal or a money goal or how many meetings? We'll get into more nuance. Right now, I want everyone to just claim a financial number. Like if you're, if this is what you want to do, because we want to have a magnet, right? We don't want to go to the restaurant and say, I'm hungry, and then sort of just like be brought whatever. We want to say, I'd love the chicken tikka and the tandoori with the biryani and, the naan with garlic, whatever, or I want the spicy tuna roll with the hamachi crudo, right? We want to ask for something that has a shape to it. It can accelerate manifestation. And Jen, in terms of that's something in the abundance accelerators where, we'll put some other ways to play. Yeah. Okay. So everybody's going to just think about that, right? And I want you to write it. We're going to build this over the course of some of these trainings and in the Abundance Rising workshop. But let's put it in a declarative sentence. So you could say by April 30th, 2024, I will have received $150,000 grant. I will have co-created my next $100,000. I will have manifested, 2 clients at $3,000 each. So we're going to put it in a declarative statement with a date. Okay, this is a Napoleon Hill sort of version, right? We can play this a lot of different ways, but for today, this is the one I want us to use. So it's just setting a vision and calling in instead of just, I'm hungry, and you could be given one, cracker, or you could order, a large pizza if you're hungry for a big meal. Okay. So pick your date by June 30th, by April 30th. I will, or you can do Bob Proctor style. I'm so grateful by April 30th. I have 100. Okay, great. By April 30th, 2024, I've generated 115,000 in client sales. Pantea, yes, I love it. By 12/31/24, my new business will break even, moving my date up by 2 years. Tanya was going to give herself 2 years to break even in the new business. She's going to be in profitability by the end of the year. Yes. Yes. Okay, we're just doing it this way now. We'll play around with the Bob Proctor version later in the season, later in the spring. I'm so grateful and happy now that I have generated 115,000 in client sales. If you guys like that better right from the beginning, you can do that version. Okay, we're pattern interrupting here. We don't always do the same thing. We want to do different things. By April 30th, Jen, I'm grateful to have 500K to buy a home with 100 referrals, referring 15 people. Beautiful. Focusing on referrals. I love these. Do we feel the difference in energy than when we're focusing on the business PTSD and when we put our attention on the vision? The more we can keep our attention, this is proven in NLP, in neuroscience, it's proven in ancient parables where we talk about feeding the fear wolf or the vision wolf. Right now, we are feeding the vision wolf. The strongest wolf is the one we feed. So we are feeding the vision right now. We're feeding it. Yes, it gives us somewhere to direct our attention instead of worry and fear and doubt and contraction and negative self-talk, like Abraham was mentioning. Audrey, by June 30th, I will have welcomed 10 new one-on-one clients at $5,000 each and be increasing your prices. Jen Todd, by June 30th, I will have sold 100,000 in coaching client programs and the client will be ideal to your new brand. Yes, yes. And all you're going to do is put this up somewhere this week. And every time you read it and see it, say yes. Yes, you're just going to yes yourself. That's how we're going to end the lounge today. We're going to yes ourselves. So I want to see who's going to yes yourself, whether you shared in social in the comments or here online. All right. Yes yourself right now. You don't have to believe it's possible. What I love about yes is you're just saying, yes, yes, I want this. Yes, I'm up for it. Yes, I'm here for it. Yes, I'm available. Yes, because so much of the time we're actually knowing ourselves. Right? We're negating ourselves with all that fear and negative talk and focusing on lack and in the gap, not the gain, right? So yes, 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 yes. All right. It's yes week. I love it. Charlotte's going to have her first somatic dance workshop. Yeah. All right. So you guys are doing amazing. This is powerful, especially when we do it in the group. All right. So next week, we won't be live on the lounge. I'm out of town. So you're going to have this going on. You're going to get the podcast to tide you over. And then we should have the workbook to be doing that work. Are you guys available to work on this until we meet again? Yes. Okay, good. So you're going to have resources coming to you. If you're on social, if you're watching this on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever, just put abundance in the comments so that we'll know to get you on the list for the Abundance Rising roadmap and the workshop. Everything's free. Okay. And if you're in the chat right now on Zoom, yes, you can put abundance and then we'll know that you're first in line. Any of you that write abundance will be the first people to get it. Okay. You're finishing it up. I write them all and then the team makes them look pretty. So Marcia and Jill can make it pretty. Okay. I'm excited. Okay. Awesome. So you're going to yes yourself this week. You're going to look at that goal statement. By this date, I will have, or I'm so grateful that by April 30th, I've generated another $100,000. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. You're going to yes yourself. Yes, yes, yes. You can fake this and it will still work. If your whole body is screaming, no, yes it anyway, because we're going to start to create a tipping point and the other techniques that we'll be doing between these sessions, the workbook, the podcast, and the Abundance Rising workshop at the end of April. It will all work together, right? We're going to be in immersion. Yes, 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 exactly. So everyone walks around. I want what they're having. What's this group doing, right? All right, so we're good. We know what we're up to this week. Your homework for today, until you get the workbook, until we're together again, is to see that statement, be grateful for it, say yes to it, even if you're faking it. That's totally fine. Yes, 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 yes. And if you're on social and didn't do it already, put the word abundance in the comments so that we can get you the Abundance Rising roadmap first, because that's going to take you through workbook styles to actually be able to write out these things and do the healing and transformation that will start this process. All right, we're being alchemists, turning challenge into gold. All right, you guys, I will see you next time. Have a great afternoon. Bye.